All right. Thank you guys for attending this evening. Can everyone hear me? It looks like we have about 10 people on so far, more people joining. So if you guys can hear me, can you type in the chat box or give me a thumbs up on your video? Just want to make sure awesome. Cool. Let me just minimize this window, get it out of your guys' way. All right. Thank you guys for joining our first class of the year, Jumpstart Your Health. So my goal is that this class can kind of help you guys maybe reset, rethink patterns in your life, health and wellness habits that maybe you haven't thought about in a while. Maybe you're looking to change one area of your wellness, maybe your diet, your exercise routine. We're going to talk a little bit about mindset as well, and some other things. So I hope everyone can learn something from this talk. That would be my goal. If you could have a pen and paper handy as well, that'd be helpful. Hope you guys can take some notes. This PowerPoint will be available after the class. We can send it out to you guys, and there's a lot of resources on here. Kind of built it that way so you guys can use this moving forward, and just read more on your own, do some further investigation. So yeah, and it's not going to be interactive in that some of our classes we've done exercise and demonstrations. It's going to be more of a lecture-based course, but I'm going to challenge you guys along the way as I remember to make some notes and to set some goals, write some things down. So I'll direct you guys in that way as we go. So with that, let's get started. So I like this quote from Gandhi, right? So it is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. Guys, our health is really valuable, but oftentimes we put a lot of things before our health. And so my goal in delving into this topic this evening is to really break down how we think about different pillars of health, and are we managing those in a healthy way? I believe that we have so much potential to live a full, healthy, happy life. We don't have to have a lot of the suffering that is in our world today. We see a lot of people, loved ones, friends with disease, injuries, just negative thought patterns. And the reason I do what I do is because I'm really passionate about helping people maximize their health in all meanings of that, right? All ways of being healthy, body, mind, spirit, and how can we really maximize the human experience and use that to make the world a better place, right? To minimize pain and suffering, and to serve others, and to build things and create new things. And I believe that the best way that we can do those things is through maximizing, first and foremost, our own health, and then helping others to do the same. So the main pillars of health, there's many pillars of health, but the ones that we're going to focus on this evening are sleep, eating, moving, thinking, connecting, and enjoying. So everyone knows what sleep is. Eating, I'm going to go into a little bit of basic nutrition. What you put on your plate ends up composing your body, right? You are what you eat, and it's very important. Movement, exercise, and body mechanics, having a consistent movement routine, thinking about being aware of how you're doing different activities, how you get out of bed in the morning, how you walk, how you pick something up. That's all important as well. That's something that we focus a lot on in the clinic. And I think that really sets us apart. And it's one thing I love about working here is we have the time to do that. And so thinking, your mindset. You're mentally stimulating yourself on a daily and weekly basis, challenging your brain. And because it's the new year, we're going to get into goal setting as well. Talk a little bit about that. You guys have New Year's resolutions. I mean, I have a few. I want to get back into sports this year. I had a few surgeries and spent some time out of work recovering. And so one of my New Year's resolutions is actually getting back into some sports leagues. I know it's a tough year for that, but that's something that really makes me come alive. If you guys have any New Year's resolutions, type those in the chat box. And it'd be interesting to see what you guys are thinking, maybe just one or two each as you're listening. And if you don't want to put your New Year's resolutions out there, I hope you just at least wrote them down somewhere. But I'd be interested to see what you guys are thinking for this new year. So that's thinking, right? Connection, connectivity, social engagement, relationships with others were made to be in community, I believe, and not be isolated. So we're going to talk about how that plays a huge role in health. And then enjoyment, and with that, focusing on positives. We often talk about managing stress, but that seems like a very defensive posture to me. What about focusing on the offensive end of that, focusing on enjoying life rather than just thinking about avoiding stress? And so how do we do that? And we're going to get into that. So first of all, I want to start with sleep. So this has become a huge thing for me in the last couple of years, I would say. I spent a year living in New York City, and after that, I just want to sleep as much as I can. It's just so valuable, and we get busier, right? As we oftentimes as we finish school and start working, develop our business, family grows, and might have kids, grandkids, like a lot. Just life doesn't slow down. It tends to get busier. And if we're not finding one thing to do, there's another thing. And sleep, I think, just needs to be a top priority because our bodies need to heal. We need to compartmentalize the things that have happened in the day, and we need just we're built that way. We need time to just recharge. And so I want to start off with some quotes and some facts on sleep. I like this Irish proverb: a good laugh and a long sleep are the best cures in the doctor's book. We're not going to talk a lot about humor and laughing, but that's also, I think, a pillar of health, right? If you can laugh more throughout the day, that's amazing for you. It feels good to laugh, feels even better to get a long night's sleep. So according to the American Psychological Association, an extra 60 to 90 minutes of sleep per night can make you happier and healthier. According to the Sleep Foundation, only 1 in 10 Americans consider sleep their top priority over fitness, hobbies, work, and social life. 1 in 10. That's not good. So we put all those things ahead of our sleep, and oftentimes we're lacking in that category because of that. I want you guys to all either type in the chat box or write down on your notepad how many hours on average you think you sleep per night. And then also next to that, write down what you think would be ideal. Kind of like the minimum amount of sleep that you think you would need. And then like what would be the ideal. So just jot that down, type in the chat box. So according to the National Center for Biotechnology Information, humans are the only mammals that delay sleep, right? So mammals need to sleep, but for some reason, I know we're the most intelligent, we're the most technologically advanced, um, but we're not the smartest when it comes to sleep. And maybe we need to look at what other mammals are doing, right? So, also, according to Consumer Reports, 68% of Americans struggle to sleep at least once a week. So if that's you, you're not alone. It's tough in today's day and age. There's a lot of things going on that are competing to keep you from sleeping. But good news is, I think there is a lot that we can do, and I want you to help you guys with that. If you get one main thing away from the talk tonight, I want you guys to sleep better. So let's get into some things that I think may help you guys. So first of all, before we get to that, how much sleep do we need by age group? How many people got the right answer here for an adult? I'm assuming most people in this class, if not all, are adults. 7 to 9 hours. And I know I talked to pretty much every patient about sleep. Most people, or some people, think that they can get along with less than 7 hours. But actually, that's to less than 1% of the population that can actually genetically function well with less than that amount. 7 to 9 hours is what you need, guys, to recover, to carry out the mental processes to the fullest of your ability, to physically heal, and do the things you need to do throughout your day. Teenagers, even more, 8 to 10 hours per night. Children between the ages of 6 to 12, 9 to 12 hours. Ages 3 to 5, 10 to 13 hours, including naps. 1 to 2, they need 11 to 14 hours, including naps. And then infants need 12 to 16 hours. So this is wordy, but I made this slide more for you guys to use as a resource, and I'm just going to highlight a few things here. I want to help you guys have strategies to combat this, because like we said, there's a lot competing for that time that you're going to be sleeping. And I'm going to be highlighting some things on the next few slides. But on this slide, just some key points I wanted to pull out for you guys. Exercise every day. And that's in addition to your job may be physical, right? You may go for a walk with the dogs, or you may do some housework, right? But I want you guys ideally to exercise on top of that at least 30 minutes a day. Like specifically using that time to do some cardiovascular exercise, some weight training, play a sport on top of what you would normally do. And also limiting screen time is really important, especially before bed, the 1 to 2 hours before bed. And with that, having a wind down routine. So reading a book is really good. If you are using your phone, maybe thinking about blue light glasses to protect your eyes. And stretching can also help relax your body. And what I've been doing lately, and I think is really beneficial, is some soft tissue work. So using the foam roller, getting on a lacrosse ball, doing some self massage of the upper traps, and that really helps me relax. So another thing, don't study or do work in your room, and definitely not in your bed. You want to associate that space with restfulness and relaxation, and not have any work related, even any kind of work stress, but even just work in general. You don't want that associated with your room. So do that in another space if possible. Keep your room clean and tidy. This can promote decreased stress as well and enhance sleep. And then also the body temperature can drop 1 to 2 degrees while we're sleeping. And the feet are especially susceptible to this drop in temperature. So socks, maybe you want to think about wearing socks to bed. I know that's something that's really helped me. I know some people are really against that or may think it's weird. it's something that's helped me. So take it or leave it. But the feet will be the first thing to usually get cold as the temperature drops, and you can wake up to cold feet. So something to think about. If you have trouble shutting your mind off, consider journaling. If you feel stressed and you can't stop thinking about something, just write it down. If you think about all the things you need to do tomorrow, make a list and get to it in the morning, and then distract yourself, and try to just unwind that way. That's been helpful for me. So I want to now talk about some tools that have been really helpful. These are all things that I use, and I attached links below that when we send out this PowerPoint, you guys can maybe look into. But first and foremost, a good mattress and a good pillow. These things are in direct contact with your body for 7 to 9 hours, ideally, right? And so they can help create the posture that your body adapts. And a lot of conditions we treat here in the clinic come because people are using suboptimal sleep positioning, or they're not using a great mattress or pillow. And so by changing these simple things, we often find that we can help people resolve a lot of their pain. I do think it is worth investing for these things. I use this Tempur-Pedic mattress that you see on the screen. I went in and got tested, did a sleep test, and to see how my body adapted to mattress and the different pressures that would be ideal for me. And so I was able to make a really educated choice, and I feel really happy with my mattress. Definitely a big investment, but I don't regret it in the slightest. It's every night I just sleep really well, and I want that for you guys as well. My pillow, it's probably time to get a new pillow, but my pillow is still amazing. I use a Tempur-Pedic Cloud. I've had it since 2012, and still working really well for me. It's a more supportive pillow, which I'm a hybrid back and side sleeper. And so you want a more supportive pillow if you're a side sleeper, maybe a softer pillow if you're a back sleeper. And likewise with a mattress, actually opposite for a mattress, you want a softer mattress if you're a side sleeper, firmer mattress if you're a back sleeper. But just getting that specifically tailored for you. And if you're sleeping with a spouse or a partner, just communicating about that, trying to optimize for both of you. That's a good conversation to start, and it can be beneficial for you. So the sleep eye mask, I've found that this Bucky 40 blinks on Amazon. So I got this mask in August, and it has helped me tremendously. And I feel like it's easier to go to sleep and harder to wake up. So maybe that's not a good thing for some of you, but if you get enough sleep, then it's fine, right? But this mask is pretty cheap and works really well. It's not a lot of pressure on your face. And so you can look into that. I went this direction with the mask versus blackout shades, just because it's less expensive and easier to travel with. But creating that dark environment can really help stimulate melatonin production and increase sleep. EMF rocks. This is interesting, and some of you know about this, and you're laughing right now that I'm even talking about this, but I have to mention it because I learned about this last year and didn't really believe it when I heard it, but I had to try it. So electromagnetic frequency is basically an invisible stream of energy waves transmitted from devices, right? So like cell phones, microwaves, Wi-Fi routers, Bluetooth devices, computers, things of that nature. They can send out these energy waves that some experts are concerned can affect us in certain ways. And one of those ways is they can decrease sleep. they're thought to, at least. And so as someone that is really interested in getting a good night's sleep, I thought I'd at least try this, right? And so these EMF waves are thought to cause decreased sleep. They can also cause headaches, fatigue, changes in memory, irritability, a lot of other things. And you can read more. I put a link below. And this is debated, right? But I wanted to try it. So I got these rocks that are thought to repel electromagnetic frequency. They go in this bag. I put that under my mattress. That's what they told me to do. And I kid you not, I have, for the last year, I've slept deeper. I've had more vivid dreams. I wake up more rested, and I sleep much better. I didn't sleep poorly to begin with. So take of that what you will. The rocks were like a little over $100, and I put the website right there. Might be at least worth a try. I love them. So if you guys don't want to try them, more sleep for me. But I think I would try it because I want you guys to sleep well as well. So air purifier. I was getting really stuffy noses at night, and so I decided to invest in this Levoit air purifier. I can control it through an app on my phone. I can shut it off virtually, and it's just it's helped me a lot to clear that up, and I feel like I breathe better. I know we have good air most of the time in SoCal already, but yeah, like I said, I'm just obsessed with getting good sleep. It helps me. This alarm clock here I found really helpful, just because it's basic. It was cheap on Amazon, and it allows me to keep my phone away from the bed so I'm not distracted, and it works. It travels well. So that's something else you guys can look at. I would recommend an alarm clock versus using your phone as an alarm too, by the way. These are some blogs that we wrote on sleep. If you guys haven't checked out our IPA Physio blog, we've got a lot of good information there. And if you can't get in to see one of us for a session on sleep positioning, this is the next best thing. We talk about how to use pillows to get the body in as loose packed, relaxed position as possible. Ideal posture for a place you're going to be in for 7 to 9 hours. Restore my sleep, talking about tips, stuff like I've talked about already to improve sleep. And then how does this play into pain? We have a blog about that as well. So let's move on. Nutrition. So this is actually a topic I'm really passionate about. I have gone on, in addition to classes I've taken for physical therapy, I think nutrition is really beneficial for my patients as well. And so I've done continuing education for nutrition, and specifically have been learning a lot more about the benefits of a plant-based diet. I'll just tell you guys my bias. But these are some general recommendations that I'm going to make. And this is not nutritional advice. These are just things to maybe consider and see if they work for you. And in general, I think they work for more people than not. And this can really help decrease inflammation and prevent chronic disease, help you feel more focused, even sleep better, just be more productive throughout the day. So avoiding sugar. Sugar is extremely inflammatory, can lead to weight gain. Everyone would agree with that. And sometimes you got to have some on a special occasion, but just don't make it an everyday thing. And so another thing, limiting red meat, especially processed meats, lunch meats, hot dogs, sausages. These things are proven to be class 1 carcinogens. And so not making that an everyday thing, ideally not consuming them at all is beneficial, I think, for disease prevention. And there's a lot of research that goes into that. Shoot me a message or email if you'd like me to send you that. But we'll have some more resources on that to come. in general, avoid processed foods, boxes with tons of ingredients, right? Read not just the nutrition facts on these packaged foods, but also the ingredients. And you want a lower number of ingredients. And in general, you want to know what the ingredients are. Probably don't eat something if it's got a lot of chemicals in it that you don't know what it is, right? Blue 5 or F, D, and C, number 3, sodium, potassium, bentonite. I would just avoid stuff that you don't know what it is. Eat whole foods, things that are grown, an apple, right? Beans, stay less processed. That's going to keep you out of trouble. And with that, cooking more at home, you can control what you're consuming. And this might be too idealistic for a lot of people, but consider eating out one time per week or less. You can just, if you're going to a restaurant, they just cook with a lot of things. You don't even know what they're putting in. It's often very rich, high in sodium, high in oil. It's great every once in a while or in a pinch, but ideally not your regular thing. And so then something else I want to talk about is supercharging your day with G-BOMBs. So G-BOMBs, it's an acronym for the healthiest foods on earth, compared to Dr. Joel Fuhrman. Dr. Fuhrman is a 7-time, if you don't know who he is, he's a 7-time New York Times best-selling author and board-certified family physician, specializing in lifestyle medicine, specifically tailored to reverse and prevent chronic disease. He's the president of the Nutritional Research Foundation and on the faculty at Northern Arizona University Health Sciences. He coined the term nutritarian to describe a nutrient-dense style of eating designed to prevent cancer, slow aging, and extend lifespan. So I was able to go to a nutrition conference when I lived in New York and actually met him in person, and was able to talk with him a bit. He's a great guy, and I've read a lot of his work as well. He has a few books out there. And so these are his G-BOMBs. So G stands for greens, B is beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. And getting all these things in a single day is ideal. Getting all of them in a single meal is even better. And so trying to structure, and right, there's many types of greens, many types of beans, seeds, berries. So you have lots of options, but trying to structure meals around one or more of these foods is going to help you out a lot. And so these foods are health promoting, right? For most health promoting foods on the planet, according to Dr. Fuhrman, foods that you should eat every day, make up a significant portion of your diet, extremely effective at preventing chronic disease, including cancer, and promoting health and longevity. And I have a link there if you want to read more about it. So just some encouragement for you guys for healthy eating. If you're knowing you need to make drastic changes, give yourself time and grace, right? You don't need to be perfect, but even small changes are beneficial. And along the lines of that, maybe write down on your paper, type in the chat box, one change that you guys want to make this year when it comes to healthy eating, be that eating out less or including more greens, having a smoothie every day or a salad. Maybe everyone can just write one thing. And I think that would be the first step, right? And so next, this principle of neuroadaptation, the idea that the nerves and the brain can change and crave what we habitually give it. So if we habitually eat junk food, we're going to crave junk food, right? And there's going to be a process of of detoxing or just breaking that the appetite for those foods. So over time, it will be tough for a while, but over time, you're going to start craving healthier foods if you eat healthier, and the nerves can change, right? That's the idea of neuroadaptation, allowing your environment to set you up for success. This is a technique that they talk about in weight loss programs, and dietitians talk about this. So setting yourself up for success by not surrounding yourself with temptation. If you know there's a food that you always like to eat at a certain time and it's not good for you, trying to not have that in the house, and trying to maybe avoid certain settings where you know there's going to be food that you're going to want to buy. I don't know, if you always walk by like a certain fast food restaurant, maybe changing where you're going, just setting yourself up with your environment for success. And then planning ahead. So this can get a lot of people into trouble. They think about food when it's time to eat and not before. So doing your own grocery shopping, and if you're going out for a while, thinking about is there a healthy restaurant I could go to, or can I pack a lunch? If I'm going to someone's house for dinner, maybe just asking if you can bring something, or letting them know that you're trying to avoid certain things. I know that can be annoying sometimes if you're hosting, but this is about you guys learning to advocate for yourselves, and no one's going to take care of your health except for you. And so I think it's worth an awkward conversation or two, telling someone like, hey, I'm trying to make these changes. Is there any way that I can bring something, or we can modify for that? At least having the conversation. And then finally, learning from a mentor, someone that's maybe ahead of you in this process. I mean, I can help you guys out if you have any questions, but I would recommend going to a registered dietitian. We have some great dietitians that we work with in Newport Beach. They do virtual consultation. I only refer to them because I think they're amazing. I've been a client myself and I've got great results, but finding someone, whether that's in person or virtually, that works for you. I know not everyone has the same convictions as me when it comes to a plant-based diet, but finding at least what can work for you, and learning from someone can help. So these are some resources that have been helpful for me. Nutritionfacts.org. You can type in any health condition, any type of food, any questions that you have about nutrition, and basically all the answers are there. And there's research-based answers, articles, just like 3 to 4 minute videos that answer tons of questions. And so they look at every single study that comes out each year on nutrition, and delve through all the evidence to synthesize it and put together answers to these questions for you guys. And so that's like a one-stop shop in learning about different diseases, and what nutrients would be helpful for that, and even just like the benefits for your health of certain nutrients as well. Forks Over Knives is a scientific documentary. It's on Netflix. This was kind of my intro to nutrition, but it talks about the connection between what we eat and disease. And I think it'd be really beneficial to check out. How Not to Die is a book by Michael Greger. He also runs nutritionfacts.org. And basically he goes through the leading causes of death and how might each of those be affected by what we're eating. And so he's going deep into the research. Pretty much every sentence is a research article, but he writes really well, so it's not boring at all. I read this whole book, and I refer back to it often. So I would highly recommend that. All right, so let's move on to exercise, movement. Less than 5% of adults participate in 30 minutes of physical activity each day. And like I said earlier, ideally that would be in addition to your job, or even things like chores or walking the dog. 30 minutes of intentional, what you're doing during that time is you're exercising, right? You're lifting weights, you're in the gym. You're being very intentional about moving. So only 1 in 3 adults receive the recommended amount of physical activity each week. So if anyone, if you guys, I don't want to guilt shame anyone if you don't do that, but if you do those things, write in the chat box. I'm 1 in 3. I'm in the 5%. And that'd be encouraging to me to see that, because I think we need more people to start doing that and expand that to over 90%, right? And I love this quote from George Bernard Shaw: "We don't stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing." So the body is capable of a lot more than we think it is. And it's not something that we need to just say, oh, I'm 60, 70, 80. I can't do what I used to do. Well, you could. And it's just the process of continuing to move over the lifespan. And it really does make a difference in how we age and the different injuries or diseases that we get. So some key points for you guys to think about in this new year, as you start to, many of us trying to make exercise more of a priority. Be consistent, but even a little bit is better than none. So if you only have 5 minutes, you only have 5 minutes. That's still beneficial. Ideally 30 minutes, an hour and a half. I'm always jealous of pro athletes because they get to work on their bodies all day long, right? They get to exercise and sleep and eat healthy food, and that's their job. I mean, we're pretty active here in the clinic, but it's still, I have to constantly make this a priority. I do notice a difference in how I feel when I don't exercise, and especially in this COVID season. Many studies have shown that people don't get diseases, COVID, right? Respiratory conditions when we're doing exercise consistently. So with that cardiovascular exercise, weightlifting, important to look at both of those and make it a lifestyle. So integrate movement into your day. So here I want to make the point of just being an active person in general, taking the stairs more, right? Parking further away and walking, limiting unnecessary sitting time, just like not getting into the habit of like spending a Saturday on the couch. If you're watching a football game, maybe you're exercising during it, maybe you're stretching, maybe you're getting up and taking breaks from work, and just like building that into your lifestyle, I think is really key. And so another thing, body mechanics and the awareness of that. And this is something that you guys, we have some resources on our blog, but how you move is a biomarker of how fit you are. And just like it can protect your joints, your soft tissues, It can help keep you guys out of the doctor's office, avoid surgeries, keep the bones strong, just by learning how to pick something up the right way. And I know several of you guys are clients here, and you have benefited from learning how to move better. And that's one of the things that I enjoy the most about working with you guys is just teaching about how to use the body. I mean, I think that we should get an owner's manual with our bodies, but we don't. There's certain ways that the body moves better and certain ways that it doesn't. And it's really important to look at that. So being well-rounded in your fitness. So it's not just about how strong you are. It's also about how much endurance you have, cardiovascular endurance, really important, flexibility, balance even, and overall functionality. How well do you do the things you need to do throughout the day? And are you training in ways that help you get better at life, right? If you need to pick up heavy boxes, do you have good body mechanics to do that? Do you have the hip strength to be able to do that? And a link that I'll put here before I send you guys this PowerPoint is the hip class that we did, the last class that we did on the hip, and talking about a lot about body mechanics and lifting. I think that'd be a good resource. We have a lot of resources on our Instagram as well. So just some tips to increase activity level. Park further away in the parking lot and walk. Avoid unnecessary sitting. We talked about that, just standing more. If you have a desk job, consider a standing desk. Schedule a workout or activity with a friend. Doing this together can help with motivation and accountability. Play with your kids or grandkids, right? So if they're on the playground, are you just sitting on your phone or are you out there with them, right? That's an opportunity. Why waste it? Work on your dance moves at home. My mom and my brother just sent me a video of them dancing last week, and I thought it was great. And I think that's a great way to play some music, and it's COVID approved, right? You don't have to go to the gym. Just if you need to do that, like with no one else watching, it's something you can do, right? Stay safe, and I think that's great. Do your own home cleaning and yard work. Definitely something that can help. Keeps you. It goes back to building activity into your lifestyle, right? Stretching and exercising while watching TV. We talked about that. If you're having long phone conversations, are you able to walk while you do that? Are you able to stand up, take breaks? Something else that I've been considering, I know this is a little off topic, but if I'm using the phone on my right ear, trying to switch it over to the left, even putting on speakerphone, just trying to thinking about how that frequency might be affecting me. I don't know how much it is, but it's something that I've just been thinking about. No, that's a little off topic, but make a habit of taking the stairs. Sometimes you got to take the elevator, but try to take the stairs if you can. And we have a good post on Instagram about body mechanics for using the stairs. And I know some of you, we've gone through that here and it's been helpful. Squeeze in a workout if you can. Anything's better than nothing. Even if it's just 30 minutes, right? Let's do what you can. Choosing activities that you enjoy. Everyone has something they enjoy, or most people do, right? And so how can you move and make it fun? It will help you want to do it. And then setting fitness goals. So where are you at? Where would you like to get to? And then what do you need to do to get there? So if you guys have a fitness goal, if you could write it down, and I'll challenge you guys in that way, whether it is you want to lose weight. That's a common one, right? Want to run a mile. I know some of you guys want to run half marathons. I was pretty happy with 2.5 miles that I ran on Sunday. Kind of got forced to do it by my girlfriend, but it was great. And so maybe my fitness goal is to run more, right? So just some inspirational exercise quotes that I jotted down for you guys. Exercise is a celebration of what your body can do, not a punishment for what you ate. When it comes to health and wellness, regular exercise is about as close to a magic potion as you can get. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live in. The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will involve the patient in the proper use of food, fresh air, and exercise. Exercise equals endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. There you have it. So body mechanics, just some resources that I wrote down for you guys. Use this as a resource moving forward. All these blogs are great. And we do have videos as well on Instagram for you guys to check out, and past classes that we've done on core and the hip. And we will have more coming out as well. Those are on YouTube. We can send those as well. So moving on to connection. So community, the condition of sharing or having certain attitudes or interests in common collectively as a group. So we're made to connect with other human beings, and this is something that is vital to our health and how we age, right? How well things go for us as we age is connected with those in our circle. Your network is your destiny. We are the people we interact with. That's what Keith Ferzali says in his book, Never Eat Alone. And I do really like this quote from Harper Sparrow. Communities are helpful to join or create because they provide support to individuals who are impacted by the daily stress, struggles, and chaos of modern life. Another quote from Brene Brown, researcher. She says, a deep sense of love and belonging is an irresistible need of all people. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. When those needs are not met, we don't function as we were meant to. We break, we fall apart, we numb, we ache, we hurt others, we get sick. I love that. So just reflect on that and recognize the importance of your community, your friends, your family, those that support you. Maybe write down a name of someone that you want to connect with, maybe someone that is a support system for you, or someone that you connect with on a consistent basis, and thank that person, or maybe connect with them after this class, because those relationships are really important. And I do know that connecting during COVID has been difficult. And so I did want to brainstorm some ideas for you guys to make that a priority this year. We don't know how long this is going to go on with the pandemic, but we do know that there's a lot we can do in the meantime to mitigate some of the challenges we face. And so just some ideas, obviously FaceTime and Zoom. I'm sure everyone has been using those a lot. Social media, I know, can be seen as a negative if we're on it all the time, but can be a way to stay in touch, to post about your life, because we don't get to see each other face to face. It can be a way to help stay connected, see what your friends are doing. Writing letters. I think it'd be great to get back into make that more of a thing, right? We've kind of gotten out of that. We text now, we email, but there's nothing like a handwritten letter. And so that can be maybe something that you do. And I think people tend to like that because it's out of the box. Drive-by opportunities for socializing. If you're comfortable with that, maybe drive to a friend's house and just stay in your car, or wear a mask and socially distance. But whatever you're comfortable with, I know there's a lot of different comfort levels. Would be nice to see someone face to face if you can drive by. Spend more time in person with your family and inner circle. The people that you are comfortable being close to personal with, let them know that they're a priority. And especially during this time when you can't see a lot of other people, try to build those relationships that are most meaningful to you in your life, and just prioritizing that time, having conversations, right? Planning activities, just doing things together, talking to each other about what you're going through, and supporting each other. Hanging out in the front yard more, getting to know the neighbors. I know it's cold out there in some places right now. Orange County is pretty nice. One of my patients told me it's going to be in the 80s this weekend, so it'd be a perfect place to put a lawn chair out, maybe read a book, maybe just hang out and eat in the front yard, right? See people, talk to people, if you're comfortable with that. And then check in on friends, family, and neighbors who you know live alone and who may be susceptible to COVID, who are practicing isolation to stay safe. Just make sure they're doing okay. That can be very helpful for them, right? To let them know you care. So some benefits of living in community. So I've said many times that it's healthy to connect with others, but what are the ways that it plays into health? Well, we get to know others, right? And we feel known as well. We learn from others. We're not good at everything, and we can build our circle and have people in there that are good at different things that can help us. And using our talents to help others. We each offer something very unique, and we can help others with that. So have help to solve a problem, right? If I have a question about finance or investing, I can call my friend and he can help me with that. That's not something that I'm good at, and I know you guys all have things that you're good at, and so it'd be good to share our gifts and help each other in that way. To be encouraged by others, to share about what we're struggling with, what we're working towards, and just to let each other know that we care and we're supporting each other. Accountability. If I isolate myself, I don't have anyone to talk to about what I'm working on. Sometimes I feel like I'm going at it alone versus having someone else to push me, and that can be good sometimes. So if there is someone that you can, and we'll talk more, we'll get into this in a few minutes, but someone that can help you as you set goals, having that accountability can really be good. And the community can be an opportunity for increased self-awareness and reflection, learning more about yourself. How do you respond to relationship with others? And what do you like? What are you doing as a person? Like, what are your thoughts? How do you respond in certain situations? And just getting better at knowing yourself and how you interact with others, I think is really beneficial. And possibility for new connections. People have gotten jobs from relationships, and or friends of friends. People have gotten married that way. Just so many doors open that we don't even know of before we get into different communities, right? So just some other things that studies have shown: increased longevity, a strengthened immune system, improved recovery from disease, lower rates of anxiety and depression, higher self-esteem, and people living in community are more empathetic towards others and overall happier. And so just some resources on in community. We wrote a good blog on IPA Physio blog, and this study, I was just going to briefly share some highlights. So it evaluated actually whether happiness can spread from person to person and within social networks. And so actually it found that, I'm sorry, pull up my note here. So tendency for people that associate with happier individuals to themselves become happier. If someone in your close circle becomes happy in life, then you're actually 25% more likely to become happy yourself. And if a friend of a friend becomes happier, then you're 8% more likely to become happy. So that can go a long way, right? It's interesting. I think I have some coworkers on this in this class right now, but the effects were not seen between coworkers. That's just one study. My coworkers make me happier. I love you guys. Just yeah. So conclusion of the study: people's happiness depends on the happiness of others with whom they are connected. This provides further justification for seeing happiness, like health, as a collective phenomenon. So I thought that study was really interesting. Moving on to how we think. So this can go a lot of different ways. I just broke it down to mindset, mental challenge, stimulating the brain, and having goals. So first, mindset. Challenge you guys to consider the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And so definitions of those: having a fixed mindset, seeking to maintain the status quo to simply survive. Growth mindset is focusing on self-improvement, seeks out challenges, opportunities for learning and growth and development. Maybe you jot down, maybe you guys jot down on your paper which one you think you resonate more with, or maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe you are like 60-40, maybe jot down how you feel about that in terms of percentages. How much are you focused on growth? How much are you seeking to just maintain? Not always a bad thing. I know life is tough. Not always a bad thing to just maintain status quo. I resonate with people that are just trying to get through the day to day. We have a lot of responsibilities, and we can't always push ourselves. We're not always in a season where we're emotionally wanting to do that. And I do empathize with that. But I do want to challenge you guys to have a growth mindset in that you are open to opportunities to change for the positive. And challenges are good. So not shying away and kind of embracing those. I want to challenge you guys in that way. And so I like this quote: in a fixed mindset, everything is about the outcome. If you fail, or if you're not the best, it's all been wasted. The growth mindset allows people to value what they're doing, regardless of the outcome. They're tackling problems, charting new courses, working on important issues. Maybe they haven't found the cure for cancer, but the search was deeply meaningful. So I really like that. Allows you to have a deeper meaning for your life, right? You're going somewhere, right? You have goals, and you get excited when you wake up. So neuroplasticity, I'm gonna go a little bit over. Bear with me, just maybe another 10 minutes or so. Thank you guys for hanging in. neuroplasticity, the ability for the brain to alter its structure um, depending on which neural pathways we fire, right? So the adult brain is actually able to grow new cells, change and adapt throughout the entire lifespan. It's actually not normal for the brain to degenerate. Um, I don't think, I know mental disease is very devastating and affects several of us, right? In friends and family, or we've all kind of experienced that in some way, and I don't think it has to be as prevalent as it is, and that's something that is definitely affected by all these different factors. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that. I have a study for you guys in a slide or two. Neural pathways are always changing based on the different experiences that we have in life. And so these neurons, these pathways become more refined the more we do certain activities. So the more you practice something, the more developed that pathway becomes. And then, and we can change these pathways. We can become less developed in certain pathways that maybe are bad habits. We can reduce those, and we can also strengthen other habits. And so just know that your brain does have the ability to do that. And it does take time, but definitely able. And I would encourage you guys to lean into that change, even if you feel like you are older, which I don't think anyone is old if they're younger than 100. I would encourage you to, even if you feel like you're old, lean into those changes, because you can definitely improve a lot. So challenge your brain, perform different cognitive tasks. This can delay the symptoms of and the onset of dementia, and that has been scientifically shown. Some examples of challenging your brain would be playing board games, doing escape rooms, solving puzzles, brain teasers, and riddles, mathematical problems, and Sudoku, learning a musical instrument or a new language. These are all just ideas for you guys. There's a lot more. I could have included studies on exercise and brain health here. Exercise is very important for the brain. Sleep, nutrition, all these, it all kind of plays in. So challenge your brain, keep it healthy. Practical steps now to improve your mindset. Wanted to help you guys in thinking about just like how you go about making these changes. Maybe tonight's discussion has brought up some ways that you'd like to change. Maybe you guys actually write that down in the chat box right now. Something that has come up that that you want to change so far, or you jot that down yourself. But how do you have the mindset to do that, right? So positive self-talk. What do you tell yourself internally? Are you kind to yourself, or are you negative? Are you fearful? It's really important. Something I could have put here, but I didn't, is visualization. Kind of seeing where you want to be, and positive visualization, not seeing the negatives that could happen. Embracing imperfection. This is something that has been huge for me in this last year, because I used to be a perfectionist. And when we realize that life is a beautiful mess and we can't always have things just so, it really opens you up to doing your best and offering the time and talents that you do have to just do the best you can, you know? For everyone that's different. You don't have to compare yourself to others. And yeah, just life is tough, And so it's not always going to go exactly how we think it should. And that's okay. There's beauty in that. Surround yourself with positive people who encourage you, who uplift you, who inspire you. Practice gratitude. So being thankful for what we have, maybe journaling every day about what you're thankful for that day. If things aren't going so well, there's got to be at least one thing that is. So what is that one thing? Maybe you think of that to help calm you in those times. And then journal your progress, thinking about just this idea of journaling and writing down your thoughts can be really helpful, because sometimes I don't always know what I'm thinking until I say it or I write it down. And so that can really cue you into what your internal person is saying, and kind of help you learn your own thought life. Listening to uplifting music. I know that can help a lot of people when they're exercising or just in the car. It can help calm you down when you're stressed. I think that's a great thing. Keeping life in perspective. Life is a long game. It's not, a lot of things are going to happen that will come and go, right? If life is tough now, it doesn't always have to be that way. And even in the challenges, there's positive, having hope that the future can be better. All these things are great. I know for me, my Christian faith is really important. And so I can have hope in that. Goal setting. And we're going to get into this in the next slide, but challenging yourself to get to where you think you'd like to be. And yeah, so with that, thinking about what inspires you. I've got to brag about my girlfriend here for a second. She inspires me. And so, but maybe think about things or people that inspire you. Why do you want to achieve a given goal? What's the reasoning behind that, right? And speaking of people that inspire you, make these goals collectively with friends, right? So friends can help guide you and help encourage you, and you can help them as well. And that's definitely really helpful. So choose realistic goals. Sometimes we shoot too high, and just making it easier is sometimes what we need to do. It's always good it can be good to set high goals because it pushes you to achieve them, right? But also they should be realistic. They should be attainable. Remembering your why. Why are you wanting to set this goal? What will it lead to, right? How will life be different? And just keeping your why in mind is really important. Don't overwhelm yourself by changing too much at once. Maybe pick a few things to change at a time. And hopefully you guys have picked up some things that you could look at from this talk. You can go back and review your notes, but maybe don't do everything at once if there's a lot of new things. I like this idea of setting micro goals. So maybe my goal is to run a mile. Maybe my micro goal is to run a half mile. And having check-in points, you could do every week, every month, every couple months, to just assess where you're at with that, and what do you need to do to stay on pace. And making a list of practical action steps and then doing them, right? So not just thinking about goals or writing down your ideas, but actually putting them into practice. definitely how you get things done, right? Actually doing it, and starting to make that a habit. Have accountability, like we talked about. Map out your week and schedule goals in your calendar. I know you guys have a lot to do, and how do different events fit into that calendar, but maybe even scheduling out time where you can work on these goals that you have, and putting aside a half hour for that. Um, some people don't actually get to what they want to do unless they schedule it. So make it a priority. I think it can be helpful to reward yourself for achievements. Maybe maybe you go out to dinner if you run a mile. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you get to binge watch a show if you at the end of the year if you hit your goal. So those are all rewards that can help push you. And then see it as a long game. Ebbs and flows are normal. Just because you might have a bad week or even a bad month doesn't mean the whole year is over. You can always get back on track, and don't give up. You you got. I definitely believe that you guys can achieve your goals, and it often is a long game, right? It might not even be like a few weeks or a few months that you start feeling changes, but over time, consistent effort is what will get you there. And there's a lot of resources and people that can help you get to where you want to be. So tap into those. And finally, just one slide on enjoyment of life. I think we often talk about stress in terms of managing the stress, and this is a defensive approach. But what about enjoying life as an offensive approach to managing stress? And so, seeking out planning fun activities, outings, events, having something to look forward to can be really encouraging throughout your week, and kind of break up the monotony of your day to day. Slow down and breathe, right? Enjoy that breath, enjoy life. We're not here forever, and it is a blessing every moment we get. So see the positives, practice gratitude, create margin in your day to transition and relax, not just booking your day every single minute, but having some space where you can transition, taking a break from work can be really helpful, right? And help you not feel like you're always rushing, like you're late. It actually is nice to get places maybe 5 minutes early sometimes, instead of right on time. That can help you enjoy yourself more instead of stressing. And then celebrate each day we're given, because this life is truly beautiful. And even if we're in a tough season right now, there is a lot to be thankful for and a lot to look forward to. And so that is a way that we can just enjoy our life by thinking about that, and just not worrying about the negatives, right? So that's it. That's all I have. I do have one more slide here, just as a resource. There's things I didn't necessarily get to. You guys can read through just, fresh air, time spent sitting, smoking, alcohol, limiting those things, and spiritual health. These are all other pillars of health as well. And I know we can go more in depth about a lot of these topics I went over, but hopefully what I talked about can give you guys just a reminder of certain things that are important, and just hopefully inspire you to make this a healthy year. Actually haven't checked out the chat box. Let me see. Oh, there are some. Let's see. Well, thank you guys for participating so much. That's awesome. If anyone has any specific questions, I'll unmute, or you guys can type in the chat box. Or anyone want to bring up anything, I can unmute you and you can say something if you'd like. Let's see. Oops. Participants. So let's see. Yeah. So if no one has anything, then thank you for coming. We do have another class coming up tomorrow, actually. Jumpstart Mindful Movement. It's a yoga class. It's at 1 o'clock Pacific time. It's free. So shoot us an email, oc@ipa.physio if you'd like to join that. And then on February 3rd at 7 p.m., so the class tomorrow is at 1 p.m., but the class on February 3rd, How to Build a Better Runner, is going to be with Dr. Pete Rumford. We definitely recommend getting in that class if you can. And then we're going to have a Pilates mat class with Hannah Pink on March 3rd at 7 p.m. So I'll be in both of those classes. I hope you guys will as well. Thank you for spending the evening with me. Hope this has helped. We'll send out an email to all the participants with the slides tomorrow. But let us know any questions you have. We'd love to support you along this journey and help jumpstart your year. So thank you guys. Have a great evening.